I knew him as her brother until I started dreaming of him like he was mine. I swore I'd protect her secrets, not fall in love with one of them. His eyes felt like home, and I hated that I wasn't allowed to enter. I tried to unlove him quietly. The silence broke me louder. He wasn't mine to crave, but the stars didn't ask permission. She called him annoying. I called him everything I prayed for. His laugh felt like betrayal, but it also felt like healing. I didn't choose him, my soul did, without asking. Falling for him was a sin that tasted like salvation. I wasn't supposed to notice his pain. Now I carry it like my own. He touched my soul, and I haven't been the same since. Love doesn't always knock. Sometimes it breaks into your chest. I hated how safe I felt around him, like he knew parts of me I'd buried. She trusted me. But I never told her her brother became my heartbeat. I didn't fall in love. I unraveled into him. My body knew him before my mind admitted it. The universe never warned me he'd feel like fate. She said, "Don't fall for him." I already had. His voice still echoes in places I swore no one would reach. I wanted to stay loyal, but love made me disloyal to my silence. I hid my feelings so well, even he started believing I didn't care. His name became a prayer, and I don't even pray. I wasn't supposed to feel this much, especially not for him. He was just her brother until he became my secret universe. I kissed him in my mind every night and hated myself every morning. The worst part, he looked at me like I was off limits. My hands never touched him, but my soul memorized him. Love doesn't ask if it's allowed, it just happens. Her brother, my undoing. I whispered goodbye to logic the day he touched my heart. The line between loyalty and longing has always been thin. We never spoke of it, but our silence was full of screams. My best friend never saw it, but her brother became my diary. I tried to stay away. The universe kept pulling him closer. Some secrets are sacred, others are written in fire. I loved him like I shouldn't, but I couldn't stop. His presence felt like a confession I wasn't ready to make. I called it a crush. My soul called it fate. I wrote poems no one saw, all about the one I couldn't touch. Every time he laughed, something inside me begged to belong to it. I wonder if he knew, or if he felt it too. My loyalty to her was loud, but my love for him whispered louder. He wasn't mine, but my heart stopped pretending. Some love is soft. Ours was forbidden thunder. I swore I'd never betray her, but I betrayed myself first. His smile ruined my loyalty. I loved him in the silence between right and real. If heartbreak had a name, it would be the one I never kissed. I never planned to love him, but I never planned to survive either. Our story never happened, but it never stopped existing. I loved him from across the table. She never noticed. His arms weren't mine, but I swear they were made for me. My mistake wasn't loving him, it was hiding it. He made me feel seen, like he read pages I'd buried. He didn't even know he had my heart. That was the tragedy. My soul said yes before I even said hello. I didn't mean to crave him, but I did. I touched him once. Now I can't forget how it felt. My heart keeps choosing him in every lifetime I imagine. Every hello held a goodbye I didn't want to admit. I wasn't afraid of falling. I was afraid he wouldn't catch me. He was the one secret that made me feel honest. I broke my own heart to protect hers. If you knew how he looked at me, you'd understand. He was never just her brother. He was my ache. I tried to unlove him like it was a bad habit. She spoke about him like he was annoying. I bit my tongue. I never asked for this. But it felt like the stars did. I'm haunted by a love that never happened. If love is a crime, then I'm guilty for even dreaming. He made me feel like I wasn't invisible anymore. I wasn't supposed to want him, but I did, deeply. Some love stories are silent, but they scream in every heartbeat. I didn't fall in love. I surrendered. He made me believe in what I swore didn't exist. I felt safest in a heart that didn't belong to me. I wonder if he remembers that night the way I do. One glance. That's all it took to ruin my loyalty. He wasn't meant for me, but he healed pieces no one else saw. I love him in all the ways I'm not allowed to say. If this touched your soul, don't scroll, like, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. I loved him in silence, but the silence screamed louder than any confession. Her brother became the storm I never wanted to escape. I wasn't supposed to feel safe with him, but I did. His name lives in the quiet parts of my day. Some love stories exist only between heartbeats. I looked away, but my soul stayed with him. I never said I loved him, but the universe knew. Every smile from him felt like forbidden warmth. We never touched, but our energy collided like galaxies. He broke me gently, with every glance he didn't mean to give. I tried to be loyal to her, but my heart whispered otherwise. I don't regret loving him. I regret hiding it. He felt like poetry written in a language only I understood. Her brother held my gaze like he heard my unspoken prayers. I stayed up at night, loving someone I could never have. If love is a frequency, he's the song I keep humming. My heart crossed lines my mouth never dared to speak. She told me his flaws. I fell in love with them anyway. I buried my feelings so deep, they bloomed into ache. I never planned to fall, but gravity had his face. His silence haunted me louder than any goodbye. I knew I'd never be his, but I still hoped the universe would bend. His laugh pulled my soul like moonlight on ocean tides. I wrote him into poems he'll never read. I looked at him like he was everything. He looked away. The danger wasn't loving him, it was never being able to stop. I wish I could hate him, but my heart won't listen. I loved him like a secret prayer, desperate, sacred, and silent. Every time she said his name, I bit back the ache. I wasn't in his world, but I felt like his missing piece. His absence hurts like a presence I never got to hold. She would never forgive me if she knew, and I don't blame her. I was supposed to protect her, not fall for him. Our love never touched daylight, but it still burned. I smiled through heartbreak every time he walked into the room. I knew better, but he felt like everything I'd ever waited for. I tasted forever in a moment I wasn't allowed to have. He was her brother, but he looked at me like he knew my soul. My chest tightens every time I hear his name. We loved each other through glances, nothing more but everything. I wanted to be good, but love made me wild. He looked at me like I was a secret worth keeping. I gave up sleep to dream of him. His hands never held me, but I still feel them in my memories. I fell for someone I couldn't have, and it felt like fate's betrayal. He never knew I was his, even when I smiled like I wasn't. My heart remembers him like he was home. Every word he spoke echoed through my ribs. I stared at the stars, hoping they'd tell me how to forget. I wanted to be loyal, but my soul wanted to be loved. He made me feel seen and ruined every part I kept hidden. I loved him softly like dusk loves the last light. She saw him as her brother. I saw him as salvation. He was the beginning of the ache I never stopped carrying. Every time he smiled, I broke a little more. I'd give anything to unread the way he looked at me once. I kept my love in silence, because silence was safer than betrayal. The stars knew before I did. I wasn't supposed to belong to him, but my soul disagreed. I saw forever in his eyes, then blinked, and it was gone. His voice still feels like warmth in winter. I loved him like a whisper, terrified of the echo. He never promised me anything, but I still waited. Her brother became my secret wish. I wanted to hate him for existing inside me, but I couldn't. Some souls were never meant to stay silent. I wonder if he knew how deep I fell. I broke every rule, except the one that said, "Don't love him out loud." He kissed her cheek. I felt it in my stomach. I was the moon, circling someone who would never notice the pull. He said my name once, and I've never been the same. Every heartbeat whispered him, even when I begged it to stop. I prayed the feeling would fade. Instead, it bloomed. I watched him love others while I loved him from the shadows. He never meant to change me, but he did, completely. His memory feels like a bruise I press on purpose. I chose silence over losing everything. I thought I could control it. Love never obeys. My heart knew his rhythm before I heard his voice. I loved him so quietly. Even the stars kept it secret. His name was never mine to say with longing. I waited for a sign. He became the storm. I whispered goodbye with eyes that screamed stay. I wasn't supposed to look, but his soul was begging to be seen. I loved him in moments I wasn't supposed to feel anything. His energy lingered long after he left the room. I swore I'd move on, but my soul is still stuck. Every version of me loves him, even the healed ones. His laugh still plays in my memory like a favorite song. I stayed silent to protect everything except myself. Her brother felt like my own unfinished poem.